Start it.
Now. Start the piece or...
No, don't. Later.
Later.
Hey, Dad, I like your shirt.
Thank you.
I made the announcement, Kern. That's why I put it on.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, damn.
I literally did my laundry earlier this week, and I couldn't remember where I put it, and I tucked it away because, like, on its own, I'm not gonna wear this outside. But there's a part 2 to the shirt.
But why
when I am +1 with child, hers says "Daddy's girl," so it makes a little bit more sense.
That's cute.
I opened this one first on Christmas, and I just lost it, dude.
So you're just like, I'm Daddy.
Just walking around with a shirt. It says "Daddy."
I want one.
Weird, Amanda's never called you Daddy during, but, you know, she got you that shirt.
She didn't get it for me.
Parents?
Sisters.
Your mom got it
it's
for
even
me.
weirder.
It's a tandem shirt. But without the tandem, it's just funny.
I would have been...
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Okay, anyway.
Alright.
Session 6 recap. During the last session, the team had begun by speaking to Briar about the events that unfolded with Ginny and Diana, as well as discussing his past life as a priest. I'm going to move this down. Briar revealed that priests are wandering people who travel the globe under the guidance of a powerful dragon to spread their awareness, recruit, and most importantly, resolve local disputes and act as mediators. After contemplating on how best to prepare the town for the arrival of Cardi in any possible manner, the team offered to become the town's emissaries and took their own version of the Oath in the Garden for the first official announcement of their unity and promised to go to Cardi and sway their decision. During this conversation, Felix stood up to Briar about the fact that he told Char she had to hide her horns, to which he tried to explain that people like her may not be warmly to which he, being Briar, said that people like her may not be warmly received in other towns, and that it was more for her own protection. After clearing the air, Briar told the group to check on Gregor, since he hadn't shown up for lunch that he was supposedly excited for. The team made their way over to his house where they found Gregor heavily abusing Janice, who was red-faced, teary-eyed, and exhausted. With haste, the team got between the two, defended Janice, and warned Gregor about stepping out of line again with a nearly unhinged Rigurd. Janice led them to the edge of the forest and told them where his mother would be, as he had to stay behind and revive himself from his exhaustion. After searching together as a team, they were able to find Elizabeth carefully laid into a bed of twisted vinery, lush grass, and floral arrangements, as her process had already begun to become a chosen spirit of the forest. During their time in the scene, the winds themselves whispered to Char to protect this new initiate, and when Janice had shown up, it was all they could do to console him. Over the course of the night, the team witnessed a transformation before their eyes, of Elizabeth finally succumbing to the call beyond their world. The air of the night became silent, with the only noise to break the veil was a devastated release from Janice. In the same moment, the newly transformed Elizabeth gave Char a parting gift of an oak leaf and acorn before disappearing into the blackness of the night. The team ended their night with a dragonborn salute from Arkul topped with a crescent moon from Felix, as well as Felix and Rigurd exchanging blood symbols on each other's hands.
Blood brothers.
We begin this next... So, I'm just going to ask you guys real quick. That night, so kind of after everything you guys had just done, before bed, if there's anything you guys wanted to say or do, kind of final closing notes, since we were kind of pressed for time. You guys can kind of have that minute. And, you know, if not, we can just go to the next morning.
None for me.
Yeah, I don't have anything. So
Nah, I'm good.
Cool. Perfect.
I am guide.
Then we begin this next session, episode 7, on the morning of Friday the 11th, June 2997. So as the early morning sun begins to rise over the if you guys remember, there was that circular clearing between the trees where Elizabeth was laid in her bed of those flowers that bloomed in the middle of the night. Only Char had actually witnessed her transformation, and I believe she talked about it a little bit at the end of last session, and you guys kind of have an understanding of what exactly went down, but without really witnessing it, it's hard to picture. But the five of you, you guys are, I assume, in the same vicinity of each other. We'll just say, let's see here. 6, 7 would be Char. So Char would be up first. Char and Mally. If there's anything you guys wanted to do, we'll just say that you two start the morning off. Janice is still... He's still in the bed of flowers. The flowers have since closed back up, and you guys can see kind of the remainders of the vines that are latched over underneath Janice, over that bed. If you remember, she was actually pulled down into the, I would say the earth, but this isn't the earth. She was, but it'll work for dirt. She was pulled down.
What planet are we on?
Camarilla.
No, the planet, not the continent.
It's Camarilla. It's one continent.
I think he means, like, are we on Neptune? Are we on Pluto?
No, you're on Camarilla. The planet's name is Camarilla.
Oh, the whole planet's named that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like it. Alright, interesting.
We're on planet Namek with the Namekian people. I mean, come on.
I would love to.
That'd be... Well, we don't really want to be on Namek because we know the fate of Namek, unfortunately.
Well,
That's true.
Maybe
Very,
it was
very far
thousands of years ago.
Planet Vegeta. I mean,
This campaign is actually pre-DBZ lore.
yeah. But I don't think there's
Rigurd is a Saiyan in its most, like, primordial form.
No.
Piccolo is my, like, great-great-great-grandchild.
Lol.
Imagine that Super Saiyan 4 Rigurd. Or 3. Super Saiyan 3.
Piccolo?
Wait, what was the dude of... He was super effeminate in the Frieza saga. I think he was Namekian as well. No, Zarbon. I feel like Zarbon would be Felix's descendant because
Any
he's
of the
super
Ginyu
effeminate.
Force?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically Felix is the force.
anyway.
All right. Yeah.
So, as you guys all begin to get up in this day, I'm actually gonna skip this song here. It's a little intense for early morning rising.
What? You don't rise to just... Okay.
I do. There we go. Beautiful death. Fit any occasion. So as each of you guys begin to rise with the sun in this new day, we'll say it's about 9 o'clock. I know the resident elves here don't have to sleep all that long. So if there's anything else you'd want to do in the night, because generally speaking, I'm just going to have 8-hour night sessions, 6 to 8 hours. So if Felix, if you think he'd do anything with the extra time there, just let me know.
Nah.
Okay.
I'll let you know if I plan on anything.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you guys are all...
There will be times.
Rigurd's doing his normal thing of, like, waking up early and going out hunting.
Okay, make a survival check.
Can, if possible, if it's allowed, can Felix be awake and join him?
Yeah, so... Yeah,
Since they are blood brothers now?
unless Rigurd got, like, 2 hours of sleep or something, he's not gonna beat Felix up and have the wherewithal to have good survival checks.
No, he's not waking up super early.
Yeah,
just gets enough sleep. He's kind of like farmer-wise, goes to sleep a little early, wakes up a little earlier.
Felix will accompany if he is allowed.
Rigurd's not gonna
Felix would be up earlier, so I feel like it would be allowed.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because of how early Felix gets up in the morning, Rigurd would have to kind of know that Felix wants to be with him, or just be like, oh yeah, hey, what's that over there? And then kind of stealth out. But yeah, so if Rigurd doesn't object, then...
Oh, Rigurd's it's all for it.
So just roll a survival check for me real quick, Rigurd.
New dice!
John, how does it feel to have a friend for the first time in D&D?
It's great.
It's great.
We'll see how it goes.
That survival check was not good.
Wait, no assist?
Oh, were you assisting him?
I mean, he's
He was
there.
Going with.
I mean, honestly though, I was gonna say based on Felix's skill set, he probably doesn't help at all. He's just wanting to learn.
Yeah, because if you guys remember, like some of the early rules before we started the campaign, it was
you have to tell
giving advantage. Kind of, it has to make sense for the situation.
Maybe the bad roll is based on Felix fucking up everything that
I think
Rigurd's
it's
trying to
based
do.
on fucking up everything because it was a nat 1. It was a nat 1.
Wow, starting off real hard. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the sake of things, we'll say every time Rigurd is like, he's kind of bending over to see if the moss is on the north side of the tree. Felix is kind of like, yeah, so anyway, I was pretty much bullied as a child. Or like if Rigurd is, he's like about to go and jump on a rabbit.
No, that's literally...
So I'm trying to be quiet and like Felix just like steps on a twig and just...
Yeah.
Most of what he's saying to interrupt everything is just how excited he is to finally be in a hunting party because they never took him hunting at the village.
So yeah, Rigurd, you are not coming back with much of anything. It's like you have these little twigs that you were gonna make a trap out of, and now you're like, well, I guess this would make an alright little fire if we needed it. And Rigurd, Felix comes over and grabs one and like, yeah. So like anyway, back in my clan, like cleaning his teeth with it. But yeah,
so,
Rigurd and Felix.
Whenever we come back, your decision. I'm gonna be cross with him, but I'm trying. Like, I know he's a bleeding heart, so I'll try and ease my way in. But people can tell I'm cross with him.
Did Felix want to go just kind of like help with the check, or was there like conversations or RP he wanted to do?
No, he just wanted to come along and he was stoked.
Okay, yeah, okay. I thought you were doing some RP. That's fine.
There will be RP later.
By the way, just test rolled this bitch again. It got a nat 20. So
can you mute yourself if you're gonna belch into the microphone?
I only did it to be funny. I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
Brody.
Morty.
It's funny, like the first time, like last session you did it like 6 times.
I won't do it anymore.
Lies and slander.
Juvenile.
So as you guys,
Juvie.
Char, Hadrian, and Arkul, while Rigurd and Felix step away for a little bit, is there anything you think you would do?
Yes.
Go ahead, Arkul.
I'm gonna walk up to Char. Good morning, Char. How is it? How are you doing?
Morning. We're okay. We slept good, which was a good start.
Mally, like.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I just had a couple questions about last night.
Uh-huh.
Can you kind of explain what all happened again? You said her spirit is just gone?
The forest spirit took her spirit.
So is she alive now, or did she pass?
Technically, as far as, like, people, she's passed. But she's alive in the forest, so you could talk to her and she'd probably hear you, but I don't know, it's very hard, I think, for, like, people to understand forest spirits sometimes. So, like, I heard her talk to me, but I think it's harder for her to talk to everybody else.
That might be something you'll need to maybe explain to Janice later when he wakes.
Yeah, I tried to tell him that his mom loved him and stuff, so I'll probably do it again, you know? Like I said, when he's maybe feeling better. But, I mean, she's here in the forest, and he could always come talk to her. I just think more things are talking back to me, which is great because, you spend your whole life talking to things and finally things start talking back all the time. It's really nice.
That's good to hear. I haven't had anything talk back to me yet.
Oh, well.
Kitty!
We'll work on it. Yeah, she's here. I might kick her out, though. She's been a bit of a pain in the butt. Yeah. She's like, get off me, human.
You're the pill here, not me.
Yeah.
But I'd also like to ask, where, we haven't really gone into much with anybody else, but give me a little bit of your, where did you come from? Before we all appeared here.
Well, nobody has ever heard of it that I've talked to, but basically, pretty much everybody where I come from is like me, and it's really nice.
The horns and the tail.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at on the map. I could not tell you in any way, shape, or form. But we could probably, spiritually find it. We could just talk to the places around us and figure out where it's at.
And what would make you think Briar? Do you know why Briar would know so much information about where you came from?
To be honest, we have no idea. I mean, so there are some bad people where I'm from, but I try not to think about them too much because it makes me sad. So, I mean, there's bad people everywhere, but I don't know why he knows so much about us because we very rarely get travelers and visitors. So I didn't expect people to know me or people like me. So it's very strange that he does. I don't know. I mean, have you ever seen a me before?
No, but you look fairly similar to most of what I look like.
That's what I thought. Maybe we share like a grandma down the line.
Well, maybe someday we can try and head out towards your area and figure out what's going on.
It's kind of sounding like I have to go home, and I don't know if I want to go home, so...
Well, we can help you with that. That's what we're here for. After Cardi, we'll figure out what we need to do next.
Yeah, do they scare you a little bit, the people from Cardi?
Well, considering they have dragons, not too much at the moment, but
Okay.
I can handle myself around most of those.
Well, I think the dragon's nice. I think the other people are what's scary. I don't think they like me. I haven't been able to talk to the dragon. I don't know if he doesn't like me either, but the people don't, so...
Well, the dragon was very nice. You just have to respect them. My people refer to them as minor deities.
Oh, okay. Okay, can you tell me more? Because I don't know too much.
We worship the ground those things walk on.
Okay.
We were obviously made in their image, considering how, I've got the horns, the tail. Unfortunately, I missed out on the wings, but not every dragonborn has wings.
Yeah. Okay.
Very few do. Some can manifest them out of gems.
Oh, how neat. I didn't know that.
You have to be a very special type of dragonborn in order to do that.
Are you a special type that can do it?
No, I'm just the breathing fire type.
Breathing fire's still pretty cool, though.
It's very helpful when you're mainly unarmed out in the wilderness.
Yeah, usually I have to talk my way out of situations, so having fire would have been really nice.
I normally just threaten them with a glowing throat, and most people tend to pipe her down.
Yeah, because we've seen you do it once, right?
Yeah, I did it last night.
Yeah, that was super cool. I mean, can you do that all the time, or is it burn your throat when you do it?
Well, it doesn't burn the throat. Our bodies are made to withstand whatever our breath, throws out. It's not just fire. Some dragonborns can do ice or lightning or poison. But I breathe fire, and it doesn't do anything to me.
Okay.
I'm actually highly fire doesn't bother me at all that much.
Oh.
But I can do it every time I take a nice short rest. I recharge myself, and I can use it again.
maybe we are more related than we think, because fire doesn't really bother me either.
Oh, really now?
Uh-huh.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, okay, the dragon that they have from Cardi, is he a special dragon?
Yeah, he's an amethyst dragon. And as far as I've known, they use force. So their breath doesn't actually expel anything, it just expels a force. It'll knock you flat on your back
Wow.
if you get hit by it.
Okay,
And
that's
sometimes,
good to
you know,
know.
it'll just throw you across the entire continent if it's hard enough.
That far? Wow.
It can be. That one wasn't as big as some of the ancient dragons I've seen, so his breath probably isn't as powerful, but it could still do some damage.
It sounds like it. You're just gonna have to tell me about all of these dragons on our trips, because I just want to know all about these dragons. Like, it sounds like there's more than the ones I've seen.
Well, if we can make it over to Dragon's Vale, where I'm from, by the time the festival arrives, you'll be able to see more than just a couple.
The festival.
This festival we hold each year, where every dragon that I've ever seen or known comes and hangs out, essentially. We all worship them, so they don't do much.
We would love. That sounds so much fun. We would love to go. Why don't we go there?
Well, we got stuff to do in Cardi first. And,
Maybe
you
we
know,
can ask this dragon if he's ever been.
No, he hasn't actually. He
Oh.
doesn't. Since he's got a rider, he doesn't tend to head out that way that much.
That's
Which is a curious thing
unfortunate.
about the riders. Not many dragons choose to have a anything on themselves.
Okay, so they're not like
Kind of a-
horses or cows or
No.
donkeys. Okay.
Dragons are their own entities. They're not some dangerous. Well, they're very dangerous, but they're not just some animal that's, you know, lingering out in the woods ready for the next kill. They will dismantle entire towns if they wish.
Oh, I bet. Huh.
I just want to interrupt for a quick second. Where is Hadrian right now?
I was gonna say I would have liked to be in at least listening to that conversation. I didn't know the RP was gonna go that long. I would have interjected if I knew I was awake, but I was kind of waiting my turn. So I'm just listening to you guys.
Yeah.
If you look over at me, it'll look like I'm meditating, but I'm listening to you guys.
Yeah, so I mean, Hadrian is definitely free to interject. I mean, it's, you know, if this was a situation where like seconds like mattered, you know, I'd have you guys roll for conversation or something. But Hadrian,
Well, I thought that's kind of what you were doing with like the wake up order, so I just didn't know. So I didn't want to like throw it. But anyway, enough of it.
I should have been more clear then. Hadrian, if you think there is something that he would have interjected in,
No, I would have sat pretty quietly.
okay. I just want to make
A
sure
lot
everybody has their
a lot on
turn.
my mind with the death of a woman.
What?
There's a lot on my mind with the like potential like death of a woman in his head. You know,
Okay, got it.
not me personally.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, Arkul and Char, if there was anything else.
By the way, I think we're mostly all friends at this point. You can start calling me Asher, by the way. That's what I normally go by with my friends.
Oh, okay, have fun. I'm just Char, but I will remember Asher. And she's gonna lean down. Mally, name's Asher.
Does she have like a little notepad?
What a fire-based party we are.
She's got like a piece of charcoal and a leaf.
No, it's just a pencil and a notepad, like a spiral notepad.
Solid ruled.
I messaged Joe earlier this week saying, if Mally is hurt or killed in this campaign at all, I'm never playing D&D again.
Oh my god.
Like, at all. It's over.
Mally's the hero we need, but we don't deserve.
Well, then we got on the topic of, like, Mally actually becomes an immortal being, and she's unkilled.
I mean, why not?
We didn't get too hardcore into it, but, you know, there's potential there.
Why not?
Mally is the in-game boss.
The big bad.
Oh, we'd all lose.
I would
my
never
God.
hurt Mally.
You must now call me Molly.
Malekia.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off RP.
The only thing I was gonna say is I was just gonna ask, so how did you get that nickname?
It's dragonborns hatch out of eggs, and so most of the times the element that we breathe tends to radiate around our egg as we're still hatching for the time. So mine happened to be very hot and flaming. So anytime my parents put any bedding around my egg, everything just turned straight to ash. So when I eventually hatched, they started calling me Asher as well.
Aww. I bet you're a cute little baby dragon in an egg.
Most dragon babies are fairly cute, yes.
I don't think I came out of an egg, though. I don't think Mally did either, but I don't know.
Maybe that's something we'll find out.
Yeah! That would be neat.
So as you guys are talking and engaging, you do hear this like soft rustling as Janus kind of like flops. He was on his side at first, and he actually hadn't moved at all from the point of night to his rising right now. So you guys hearing this noise would definitely catch your attention in terms of like Janus is definitely awake. So he just flops over on his back. The redness in his face has definitely gone down. Gregor isn't the most virile guy, shall we say, so there isn't a huge mark on his cheek, maybe from where an impact of a ring might have landed, just a small bruise, but as far as his appearance goes, he seems like he really needed that rest and that time to just let his mind finally find some relaxation. He does not say anything to you guys, though.
How are you holding up, Janus?
He doesn't respond. He doesn't even look at you.
Are me and Rigurd back at camp yet?
I'm gonna make you guys wait a couple minutes. Like that one, Rigurd is doing his damnedest to catch something.
Oh, I'm determined. It's
like,
just like
if Rigurd does not catch a morsel, it's a stain on his honor. You know? like he will lick the blood from Felix's hand.
So, in the woods, I thought you were experienced with hunting. It seems like we're not really catching anything.
Well, what is that?
Head still kind of looking at what I'm doing, but like half turn my head to him, give him some eyes, just like having an off day, and then just back to it.
Guess you can't win them all, but I don't know. I thought hunting was more exciting than this. Crunches mad twigs on accident, you know what I mean? Just like very, very like nonchalantly, just like making a lot of like really apparent noise, like walking around.
You know when
You son of a bitch!
You know
I feel like Rigurd's. Go ahead, Griff.
I was gonna say
on a one, dude. On a one, like we have no chance.
Like in SpongeBob.
If anything, we're the prey, dude.
In SpongeBob with pre-hibernation week, when SpongeBob is trying to rake those tiny leaves and
Dude, yes.
steps on all of them. That's Felix. That's fucking Felix. Yeah.
Rigurd is just standing there trying not to punch him in the face, and his eye is just twitching, and he's just starting to.
Almost there, almost. It's not that bad. In response to Felix, it's like hunting's not supposed to be exciting. It's all about patience and anticipating your prey and trying to get in its mind.
Interesting. I mean, I actually have an older brother who said similar things when they went out hunting, but I never got invited along. Continues to crunch leaves. Anyway.
Yeah, so for those of you back by the campsite, I guess we'll call it, Janice, he very slowly, like, he gets up and he's hunched over. He's clearly depressed. It still does not. His eyes do not rise to meet your guys's. To meet your guys' eyes, and he looks back in the direction of where you guys know his mother's shed is, as well as their like property over there. He just shakes his head a little bit. He'll look down and he will pluck one of those flowers that had bloomed that night prior. And you guys can see them clearly that they are all closed up again. And he'll like tuck it away in a pocket. And he'll slowly get up to rise and just in a very defeated cadence start walking towards the shed. It's a ways off, so you guys could definitely catch him, but he starts shuffling off in that direction.
I'll follow him.
I will as well.
Rigurd's not leaving the forest. He's not stopping the hunt until he gets something.
Felix, Meta, knowing that we rolled a 1, don't you think it's time we go back to the others? I feel like we're just not really catching much here.
Can you go back to the others and tell them I'll just be a little longer? I want to get something.
Alright, well, best of luck. I don't really think we're going to find much out here. And he just starts Felixing back.
Rigurd, you can hear him for like a good 5 minutes.
It's so loud. Like, he's so, like, he doesn't understand that you have to be very quiet and very careful. He's just like moving shit out of the way. Like,
Rigurd's
very
back hunting.
Does not understand that at all.
John, you can make another survival check if you want. Borderline advantage, but it's not.
Damn it!
Oh, fuck. Are you gonna have to jail those dice already after 2 rolls?
No. I just rolled. I said damn it to the not advantage part.
Oh.
I'll take a 15. I'll take a 15.
15, okay.
I was hoping for the fucking nat 20 like he leaves. It's just immediately better.
I was about to say, as soon as Felix is done crunching and like knocking over dried wood, like shaving bark of like stepping on dried bark like you used to in your walks home.
Just like he's a child, just like, oh look, a twig.
Oh, the last thing you hear is just a very like echoey over the top of the trees. Good luck, Rigurd.
Yeah, so Rigurd, you can make your choice if you think he'd have better luck with the maybe finding some not so stealthy fruit, or if he'd catch an animal. You could probably get up to let's say a small boar. I think would be a good catch.
Damn.
He'll go with the boar, because they're.
Yeah, maybe just a
They're
little
not the-
piglet. Get some lamb.
Baby boar.
Not quite a
baby
piglet,
boar.
not quite a boar, not quite like mama boar.
A
Yeah.
teenage boar.
It's a
Yeah.
It's a preteen boar. Yeah. So, is Hadrian staying in the grass field? As did Arkul say he was going to follow as well?
Yes.
Okay. Does
I would
Hadrian?
follow.
What was that?
I would also be following.
Okay, so as Janice kind of gets up and starts to shuffle off, Char and Arkul and Hadrian each follow suit. So, Felix, you will be the first to come back. You will see that Janice and your friends are missing.
Do I see them walking off towards the shed?
Make a perception check.
I will. 15.
Yes, yeah, you definitely, we'll say Felix kind of remembers when you guys had first gotten to this specific area, the grass was highly impressionable as soon as you guys stepped on it. That was part of, like, the mystique of the situation where she was, covered in all these things, but there were no footsteps. So he can see where the footsteps go, and we'll say with a 15, he can pretty well identify that it's, multiple people going in that direction. So we'll
He'll
say
proceed.
yeah, we'll say you catch up in a couple minutes. So you see Char, Arkul, Hadrian, each following Janice.
Hey guys, I tried going hunting with Rigurd, but we weren't really catching much. He's still in the woods.
Did we hear any of that?
He's catching up to you.
Okay, he's actually coming up to us. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if he's just standing there and just speaking in that normal tone, it's like,
I thought you were talking.
No.
I thought you were talking about like, did you hear the
assumed
crunching in the forest like that far
I assumed
away?
I had caught up. I assumed I had caught up.
got it.
Well, doesn't he normally hunt in the forest?
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess we just had some bad luck, but he's still out there.
Well, you did your best. That's all that matters, right?
I guess so. It was my first time ever really hunting.
Oh, how exciting!
Maybe you'll get something next time.
Maybe. We'll see.
Just keep at it. You'll get it.
He seemed a little impatient, but, that's kind of how Rigurd is.
He is very impatient sometimes.
Janice, how are you doing?
Janice is continuing his shuffle. Just marching order, I guess is what it technically would be. I am envisioning Janice is in front of you guys, not very far, maybe within 5 feet or so. And Arkul and Felix would be kind of shoulder to shoulder behind Char. And then Hadrian would be maybe bringing up the rear. You guys can feel free to change that. Okay, just want to make sure. So yeah, Felix, pretty close to Felix, or pretty close to Janice. He he definitely heard you, and he doesn't turn to look at you. He doesn't respond or even change the pacing in his step. And you guys can start to see his the shed as well as their property start to come into view. And he is heading directly for the shed.
As soon as Rigurd catches the boar, the teenage boar, he's, he's gonna go back to where she sank in the ground.
Yeah, so Rigurd comes back. Everybody's gone at this point. All of the... And he saw this, the flowers are closed. There are still a number of vines and the flowers... Actually, the flowers in the center where she was laying, the ones that physically covered her, they remain. And Rigurd can see that beneath them is a pretty tight little knitting of the vinery that also covered her. Because I think Rigurd was the first one to actually go up to her, because he wanted to see if she was breathing.
Yeah, I put the blade of the dagger up to her nose.
Yes, he can see that same vinery now kind of woven together and is just on dirt. There's the flowers, the vinery, and then just dirt, and it's very easy to pull up if he were to do so.
No, he's not gonna pull it up. He's just gonna he's going to lay the boar at like the foot of where the flowers are. And then he's gonna go like find some decently sized sticks, and use some tree bark or the fibers from it and fashion a little cross and plant it at the head of the flowers.
Sure. Yeah, we can incorporate that in his 15 survival check, I think is what he got.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like he would have had that intent somewhat close to the whole time. So yeah, Rigurd has the materials that he would need to do that, and there's just a gentle breeze that kind of wafts over the flowers, and you can still hear the rhythm of the insects as they chirp and what's the word? Stridulate?
I have no idea.
I think it's a G. Maybe I'll find out later. We'll say it's stridulating. I'm stridulating through the air, birds flying over the opening, and Rigurd can also see the direction his friends went as well.
I'll head off in that direction.
Okay. Yeah. So as you guys all approach the area where Janice was heading towards, he immediately just unlocks the shed and kind of half-heartedly closes it behind him. You guys can definitely pick up he's trying to put out vibes of like, just go away. But he doesn't really appear to have the strength to back it up. But you can hear him rustling around a bit behind the door, and you guys can see the other animals and the plants are still completely undisturbed around this area. She had a chicken pen right next to where you guys were brought here, and then there are still those same 2 dogs that are chained up in their fence, and they're like, they're doing that like happy pant, like hey, what's going on?
Do you guys think that we should leave him be?
I was kind of thinking that, but then he kind of went towards the shed, and I don't want him to, like, go on a rampage.
I don't really know if he's the rampaging type. I think he just needs time to process things.
Well, as long as there's nothing in the shed that can hurt him or other people, then yeah, I can leave him alone.
Maybe we should just pop in and say, hey, if you need anything, come find us.
Oh, okay, I like that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, okay, I guess I'll go.
I'll go with you.
He'll go to the shed door with Char.
Okay. Yeah, it's a the door is slightly ajar, so it's not hard to kind of push it in and see the space. If you guys, it was actually it's more of it's almost like a studio apartment in its size. It's big enough. It has a small kitchen and a single cot where there's a place to sleep, as well as storage and as well as a place for all of their tools. And you can see just on this small, singular, round, well-worn with time and use breakfast table, he's laid out this kind of old, dirtied pair of gloves, and he's over in one of the corners where there's ample sunlight coming through. There's this very small... It's... so for the players here, it's a bonsai tree, but I don't know if your characters necessarily would have seen this before. This very, very meticulously and carefully manicured tree that it has the definition and almost the age of a full tree, but in a microcosm. You can see there are some leaves that are out of place and maybe a bit overgrown for what would look to be a healthy tree around where the leaves are growing, and down to the roots. All of the roots are sort of fanned out and spread over the table in this wild intertwined mess. And there are these little pair of scissors. There's an empty pot of soil, There's an empty pot as well as a pot of soil on the ground next to it. So it looked like she may have been in the middle of manicuring this specific plant. And he's just staring at this little tree in the sunlight.
Janice, I know it's hard for me to relate to what you're going through, but the group that we have here, we have your back. If you ever need anything at all, just say the word, and we'll help you. That's a beautiful tree. I'm sure your mother be very proud no matter what happens.
He'll just staring down at it.
That's all that's it. He'll just give him the reassurance and get away from the door.
Yep, I'll leave.
Get away from the door.
I will follow.
And we'll say, as you guys are kind of starting to step away from the door that Rigurd approaches.
Rigurd? Do I notice the boar laying at the foot of the grave? Wait, did you lay the boar?
Yeah.
No, the
Do I
grave
notice it?
is way away at this point.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna say, like,
Rigurd, you're back. Did you find anything?
Wasn't as eventful as I would have hoped.
Wow. I don't know. Maybe it was just a fluke. Crunches a twig.
Yeah, it's sometimes you get those days during hunting. We'll have better luck next time.
He'll minor illusion a very pixelated rabbit. Eyes on the prize.
Like one eye is bigger than the other.
It's so shit,
God.
yeah. It's like the worst pixelated rabbit ever. Like,
Like-
one of the ears is like way bigger, the
Big
eye is
buck
bigger.
teeth, yeah. Ooh.
It's like ass.
Fungus.
That's right, Felix. Keep that mentality.
I told the village that I'd be good at hunting someday.
Even the pixelated rabbit is like,
Nah.
yeah, so you guys kind of leave Janus to recover on his own and maybe tend to his animals for a bit. What would you guys like to do?
Wait, can we make it canon that Felix's minor illusions react to what's going on? But like, they're not gonna like lore drop anything. Can you, like, you know what I mean? Like the freaking paintings in
They
Harry
just-
Potter, like they just
react.
like they can react, but they don't like. Obviously, they don't like drop bombs or anything. They're just like they'll just like cringe at Felix if he does something cringe.
If you want to make it part of the illusion, like Felix is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess inherently Felix is so insecure that his minor illusions will cringe if he does something cringe around them. If it's like a humanoid or like a whatever, like
something,
an animal.
Something anthropomorphic, yeah.
Right, something that can show emotion or cringe. It will
Dagger
cringe.
cringes.
Yeah.
The dagger grows little arms.
No, not like daggers, like anything like
Yeah, I
animal
gotcha.
or yeah.
Oh god.
So what would you guys like to do?
Well, I guess now we should head to Cartier. Maybe is that the next
do we
thing?
need to finish anything up with Gregor?
Maybe
I
we
feel
should
like.
just-
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Maybe we should just tell him where Janice is, so he knows and can check on him from time to time.
I think maybe Rigurd should.
Make
Tell
amends
him-
for what he did.
Yeah, and then we should probably talk to Briar and ask him to look over Janice, because I feel like Briar has the best intentions in mind for everyone here.
Say what you will, I'm not apologizing for what I did.
It's definitely never okay to strike your children, but at the same time, we could have probably handled that differently.
Right, I could have handled it differently. I could have beaten him more, but
Guess.
I was trying to be gentle.
Well, I say we stop there and then we stop by Briar's just to see him before we leave. Because it's going to be, from what I understand, a pretty far journey from here. I've never really been this far from home for this long. Shudders.
Well, let's head on back then.
Okay.
And we go.
And we go. Yeah. So you guys
Oops.
have the that couple. Let me ask. Would you guys just do a normal pacing return? You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just want to make sure. So you guys have that long walk back to town, and pretty much as soon as you guys cross the forest edge between Ilanda Vale and the forest to that side. Excuse me. Sorry, God. As you guys make your way back to town and you cross from over the forest edge to that more tamed and kempt area of the town, kind of where their border begins. You guys, if you guys remember the statue of the traveler is on that far edge of town that it's not like you could inspect it from where you are, but it's visible from where you are. And you guys can see the statue still standing in its glory, and Briar is at the foot of the statue, maybe standing on some kind of milk crate. He seems to be a little bit taller and addressing many of the people of the town. And you guys can hear it's not shouting, it's more of raised voices. They're having a heated discussion, I would say. As you guys,
I'll walk up to Briar, and just
let's
like
listen. Yeah.
kind of salute him, see if he reacts in any type of way. Can
we hear anything?
Yeah,
Let's listen in and Kriv, do all the voices.
How many do you want? Yeah, so
All of
crowd
them.
of people. Whole crowd.
the whole yeah, so Hadrian, give me a perception check.
And 4. $17.
Okay. So yeah, Hadrian is weaving his way through the crowd, and he can see that Briar is definitely he's both trying to. You can see that that all of the heat of the discussion is solely coming from Gregor's, and Gregor is directly in. So it's Briar addressing the crowd, but Gregor is directly in front of him, and the rest of the crowd is behind Gregor in sort of a semicircle around the statue.
Okay.
And he can see that Briar's there, Melanger is there, if you guys remember who she is. And with the 17, Hadrian would definitely notice in sort of tucked behind one ear is the same flower that you guys had seen. I don't want to say her grave, but where Elizabeth succumbed to the spirit of the forest. Those same lunar flowers. Hers is also closed, as well as that you had seen that the other ones were closed as well. But she has one tucked behind her ear.
So I like saluted Briar. Did he notice?
Yeah, I'm coming up to that.
Sorry.
So it's all right. As you guys arrive, Brian and Gregor are going one-on-one. Gregor, as soon as you guys get in, he is pretty actively trying to sway everyone's opinion, which you guys have well fortified at this point. He is trying to sway everyone that you should be essentially evicted out of the town. And when I say you guys well fortified, I don't mean you fortified his position. I mean you guys fortified yourselves as kind and generous and very giving individuals who came to this town, and everybody knows it. So you guys walk up, and Gregor is doing pretty much whatever he can to make that clear, to make his voice very clear, and how he is feeling.
What's his motive for it? Do we get any words to that effect?
You can make an insight check.
Oh, I think I already know what's his motive.
I would assume dead wife after people showed up.
13.
13.
I wanted, I meant the finer points.
What was that?
I meant, the finer points of it. I think we all know, the broad points of it. I just want to hear, the detailed account.
With the 13, it's hard to get the specifics of, why maybe he's feeling this way towards you guys. I mean, you guys already said you have a general idea, but it's hard to know what those feelings that you've experienced thus far are, maybe what they're rooted in, or where they're coming from. But yeah, Briar is doing his best to calm him down. Now, Gregor, I think you know as well as I do, this community makes decisions as a community. I am only a mediator. I do not make soul judgments, nor will I. Nor will I. Everyone here, and he sees you guys coming, everybody here knows, and then gestures to you guys, that these brave individuals have been more than kind and have done their part to earn a position in this town. Anyone one of a Aelfric, they helped you and your boys out there, did they not? Belandry, they saved your plants, did they not? Gregor, they helped you and your boy, did they not? And Gregor goes, that doesn't matter. They came into my house and they aggressed me. That is completely uncalled for and should not stand, Briar. And Briar turns and goes, well, maybe we should let them defend themselves rather than trying to talk behind their backs. And Gregor just does this kind of fast spin with this real angry, very furrowed brow over at you guys.
As he said, we aggressed him, and Briar's back is turned to us.
Briar?
What, like, yeah, so he's, Briar
Gregor's
and I are talking,
back.
Briar's back is to us at the moment, right?
So
I think you're talking about Gregor.
So
You said Briar the first time.
I understand, so he's talking to Gregor, Briar's back is to us.
No, it's the other way around.
you got so let me clarify that. So bad descriptions on my end. So the statue of the traveler is behind Briar. He's kind of on like an egg crate type thing, addressing the crowd, and then there is Gregor and the crowd behind him. You guys are coming more from the crowd's angle, so you'll be coming from behind Gregor. That's why Briar could see you and Gregor did not, until Briar gestured over. I should have cleared that up.
Clears it up, just... I know I'm gonna regret this, but I'm sticking to character, so,
It stops the inappropriate gesture he wanted to do, Crave.
That's all I can ask for. Is
No,
the character.
so Rigurd's gonna do that little flinch at Gregor, just like,
Oh, when he turns.
yeah.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh.
Why? Why would you do this?
Dude,
Natural
we're
one.
commoners.
Rigurd does not like him at all.
The angry mob
Yeah,
will
neither do
kill
I.
us.
Rigurd is a family man. He was abusing his child.
Well, we were just told we got a chance to defend ourselves, so...
And
Let
we
him-
can
let him-
defend
let him
ourselves
roll.
after this. I'm gonna use my inspiration for advantage.
Can I assist for disadvantage?
Huh?
Can I assist for disadvantage?
No.
No!
We all hold him back.
Fine.
Hey, I'll fucking take that!
Hold him back.
What's my modifier?
It'd be
What's
based
my
off your.
modifier?
It'd be based off your charisma.
Intimidation. Fuck it, we're
Rigurd
commoners,
just-
so it's still 0.
Probably 0.
You
Alright,
realize
it's-
the better your roll, the more you are reinforcing this guy's attack on our character. You realize
I
that, right?
understand, but it's still a 17.
God
Strength
damn
check
it.
to restrain him.
It's
Don't
still
worry.
a 17.
So
I'm not
like-
going at him, I'm just
Yeah.
like...
well, so no, Rigurd is not going at him. I, as the DM, know that. Your PCs do not know that. So
That's a fair point, that's a
and
fair point.
with the 17, I mean, yeah,
I
so-
wanted advantage so it wasn't a 9. I didn't want a 17, though.
So yeah, Briar, in the middle of defending you guys against this guy who is aggressing you, saying that you attacked him in
We're
his home.
aggressors.
And Briar says, well, maybe we should hear their side of the story. And Rigurd comes up, what? And Hadrian's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And yeah, Gregor's like, "Nyah, nyah, nyah, nyah."
Do that one again.
And he's like, do you see? And he just looks at Briar and points at this little green thing.
Gregor, please explain to the crowd how we attempted to stop you from beating the living daylights out of your son.
As fucking Arkul says that, I'm gonna like climb up on his back and like peek over his shoulder, like, yeah,
On Arkul's back.
yeah.
Thank God. Thank God.
I'll allow it
And-
for now.
Felix will summon a picture-perfect minor illusion of Janice's slapped, crying face.
I feel like he needs to roll for that one.
Yeah.
It's a cantrip. No, I don't.
But everything's been digital so far.
Yo.
Like,
Gotta
Let's
roll
just
for that
stuck
memory.
with them. Yeah, stuck
All right,
with
I'll
them.
roll. Fine.
stick to character, don't meta bitch.
It's a 13.
It's a natural 13.
I mean, it's a cantrip, dude. It should just be able to happen. Like, there's no,
No,
there's no
I-
roll for it.
Well, I
Like,
I didn't tell you to roll, so I'm trying to figure out what you're rolling here.
I mean, 13. He's a charisma-based
13.
sorcerer commoner. We're gonna. I mean, he has a
I think
plus
it's
on his
enough detail. It's
charisma.
higher than 10.
He has charisma as his chosen attribute for like whatever commoner level we're at. So he's like buffed a little
Well-
bit in charisma. So maybe not picture perfect, but like it's not pixelated.
720p. It's not 4K.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're rolling here. So we'll just say it's adequate. We'll say it's adequate.
You see a crying Janice with his red slapped cheek appear as Arkul drops that bomb, and then friggin' Rigurd's like, yeah.
Yeah. So it's so as you guys roll up into what was still, I would say, in discussion territory. The crowd wasn't necessarily like cheering or jeering for either side of this particular disagreement. And Rigurd comes up and goes, "What?" And Gregor, he shrieks back a little bit and then just gestures over to Rigurd while kind of stepping away a little bit. And then Felix comes over, "Pa!" and puts up like sad SpongeBob on Christmas.
Sad Janice.
With the sweater of tears.
Yeah. And
Is this one okay, Squidward?
there's a very long silence out of the crowd as Rigurd kind of releases one more, "Yeah!"
With Rigurd's second yeah, Felix will get embarrassed and take away the sad Janice face. I don't know why the snap just seems like something he would do. It's going to be the can thing is going to be a snap for Felix. I don't know why. It's just what I want to do.
Felix is just like in a fight.
Not even no. When he gets in fights, you'll know what's going to happen with that because I put it in my lore.
Oh god.
Joe knows.
So anyway,
He saw the cringe picture that I sent him. This is how Felix is going to cast spells. Remember that fucking cringe ass picture?
So
You
anyway.
saved it. You
So
fuck. You fucker.
So there's a very long and drawn out quiet from the crowd. And
Greg, please go ahead.
I was just gonna Briar, Gregor, everybody in the crowd are all staring at Rigurd as he's mounted Arkul at this point.
Greg, please explain to the group how you were beating your son, and we merely came in and prevented you from doing any further harm to him.
I did no such thing. I did no such thing. I did my duties as a father to address a spoiled child. Briar, is that their concern? You tell me. And Briar's just looking at Rigurd like he'll step down and he'll come over and just like kind of he'll try to whisper to Arkul and Rigurd, not very quietly. Rigurd, get down, please.
We're gonna get down. Takes a couple breaths.
Yeah, Briar just has a big like,
Yes.
and he kind of returns to a middle position between Gregor and you guys.
Now, Briar, and I'm gonna lean down to Briar.
He'll just put
Briar,
his
this
hand up
is-
real quick. Gregor has put forward the assertion that y'all invaded his home, which I admit to everyone here. I asked them to check on him as we had a lunch date, as he will attest, won't you, Gregor? And he begrudgingly nods. We had a date. He did not show up, so I was concerned, as y'all know me to be. I asked them to check on Gregor for me. It is unusual for him to miss such an occasion. Now, Gregor is telling me, and everyone here, although it should have been brought up privately, that y'all invaded his home and aggressed him. Is this true? And he'll look at Arkul.
Hold on, I'm thinking of a better way to say it.
You're fine.
Arkul's phrasing.
Yeah.
The elegance behind it.
It would sound much better in Draconic.
I would say Gregor only is telling partial truth. We went over to his house, just like you asked. And when we arrived, we noticed the door was open. No one was there, but we heard shouting. We went inside to investigate, and we happened upon Gregor beating his son Janice.
And there's like
on the
there's
ground.
murmurs in the crowd behind you guys.
Rigurd merely jumped on Gregor in order to stop him from beating his son. Rigurd didn't actually harm or lay a hand besides grabbing him.
And then Rigurd's gonna interject, like, "That's right. I only grabbed his shirt. If I wanted to hit him, I would have."
Gregor's just frustrated that he didn't get his way in beating the living daylights out of his kid.
Make a persuasion check. And I'll give you advantage because Rigurd's keeping his cool.
Woo!
As hard as it fucking is.
Yeah, I know.
But it's okay because, like, Briar gave him stew, so he likes Briar.
Oh man, if we were in our actual characters right now, that'd be
Right?
awesome. That'd be it would be a +4, but I still get +1, so.
Oh, the
That was
bullshit we would be getting into if we had our actual characters.
What's the total?
Oh, double natural 15s, so 16.
Okay, yeah. So, Briar just looks over. Gregor. I think many of us know this is not the first time that you've laid hands on your boy. Now, we've let it go. Are you Janice is a grown man, and it's not right for you to be doing this anymore. Is this true? And Gregor's definitely flustered at this point. Well, I don't know if I was abusing the boy. I was just teaching him a fatherly lesson, that's all. That's all.
Gregor, there's a difference between teaching a lesson and abusing. You were straight up abusing. If you were actually trying to teach your son a lesson, there wouldn't have been a mark on his face.
Have you all lost your senses? We're listening to a...
Snaps, Janice sad, red face, right in front of Gregor.
He's like waving his cane like through the illusion.
The illusion dodges his cane. Still crying hard as fuck.
Are we gonna... Stop that! Are we going to listen to a lizard and a pink thing?
Gregor, you're talking a lot of shit for someone with a flammable house. You might want to keep your mouth shut.
Rigurd definitely has his fists clenched.
And I would like my throat just to kind of start glowing just a little bit.
Yeah, Briar steps in.
Holy fuckaroonies.
What are y'all thinking? Have y'all lost your senses? Briar,
I will not be made a fool of by someone who's just flustered about whatever his daily life is. This is an outrage. I cannot believe he's even thinking of accusing us of threatening him.
Briar is... I am trying to find the middle ground here, and y'all are not making it easy. Give me a moment to work this out. And he looks at Rigurd. Don't. Nope.
Briar.
Nope. Rigurd?
What?
Rigurd?
What middle ground? What middle ground is there?
If y'all...
I think the middle ground is
I
we're
have lost control.
going to party anyway.
Yes, you have.
Let's just go.
I think Felix said it best.
And
He
Gregor...
said,
Oh,
we
so
said we would go to Cardi.
is that why you called us here, Briar? Are they representing Ilanda Vale now? Is that what's going on? And
Well, would you rather be turned to a village of Cardi, or would you like to stay independent?
Briar's like, Briar's doing everything he possibly can to like rein it in.
It's not working. He's
No,
lost
not at
control,
all.
like you said.
If y'all would just let me talk for 2 minutes. And the crowd is once again grown quiet as they just sit and observe you guys.
Joe, your internal dialogue is becoming external.
What'd I do?
If you'll just let me talk for 5 minutes.
Oh, it's. I mean, it's borderline real for me. I mean,
I know.
every character is an extension. But Briars, Miss Chaw, and maybe Hadrian, if y'all wouldn't mind, and then he, Felix, not Hadrian. I need you here, Felix. If you and Miss Chaw wouldn't mind, maybe getting Rigurd a nice cold glass of water from the house.
I'm gonna pour a cold glass of water on him. She's gonna grab Rigurd's hand and like march him into the house.
Felix follows.
Yeah, no arguing on that one. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rigurd's confused, but like no one's ever done this, so he'll just kind of go along with
holding
it.
Hands.
I love it.
Yeah, and you guys aren't near the boarding house, but there's another house nearby where you guys can go in and get some water, so you can still hear the conversation.
The cattail.
I saw that too.
Whips it right at me.
So Arkul and Hadrian, you guys remain behind Briar. That's a natural as segue as any I think I could have come up with. So the 5 of them, after yesterday's events, have offered to become our emissaries, because people, I don't know if y'all have been looking around lately, we ain't as young as we used to be. Alfred's boys and Matthew and Dominic, your boys are the youngest ones here, and I don't think they's ready to be fighting anytime soon. So we don't have much of a leg to stand on here if Cardi wants to enact something or other. So they have offered to be our emissaries, and this is what I was going to discuss today, Gregor. But I haven't had much time to speak. I've already said it. I do not make all the decisions here, nor will I. But I will do my best to mediate them. We all know these fine people are not like us. And I wasn't much like y'all either when I first showed up. But y'all welcomed me with open arms and open hearts. And I encourage you to do the same with them as well. And they have proven themselves, in my opinion. Having said that, it is the town's choice if they will be our emissaries or not. And Gregor starts. Gregor, I think we know where you stand. Now, I am willing to hear ideas or opinions. My vote is that they have the diplomacy, and he gestures to Hadrian. Hadrian, as many of y'all have noticed, is a very careful speaker. And Arkul here is, well, about as muscular as they come, isn't he? I don't know what that... He, gestures to the throat. I don't know quite what that was. That was a little frightening, but I'm glad he's on our side, if I'm being honest. So, Melander, how about you? What you thinking? And, again, Hadrian and Arkul now, you guys can see that she has that same flower. And she's like, well, they have clearly proven themselves to be reliable and certainly good-hearted. And she looks at Arkul, trying to be Arkul, make an insight check.
Ooh.
Ooh, she lags you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big muscly dude. What do you want?
You're not a dude.
It's wisdom.
He's a dude dragon.
I'm a male dragon.
Oh yeah.
Damn, this is my worst one. Ooh, 2.
That's not
Okay.
as bad as a 1.
Arkul is very unsure about the message that she is seemingly importantly trying to convey to you. And Briar's okay. And he gestures over to Aelfric and his boys.
I wave at the boys.
Yeah, Max, he has this big, this big stupid wave over at Hadrian. And Aelfric is trying to hold back a little smile. We stand with them. They have proven themselves 100%. And Briar looks over. Not looking good, Gregor. Kendra, what say you? And if you guys remember, Kendra was the one in the Silent Island Ale House.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's looking at her, and she's getting a little red in the cheeks. Well, while their timing may have been fortuitous as well as serendipitous, I'm not fully convinced, or... Is there a challenge perhaps we could issue to their repertoire to understand if maybe they are up to the task? And Briar kind of is taken aback a little bit. A task? I mean, there's not much in town per se. I mean, not unless you want to send them, kind of gestures beyond Ilanda Vale. I mean, there's no shortage of horrors out there and monsters, and she kind of approaches Briar and whispers a few things to him. Oh, well, I suppose we'll let them decide. Okay. So he, we'll say, Char, Felix, and Rigurd return at this point. Rigurd is 7 points cooler than he was before.
A little wet from the water
wet.
that Char poured on me.
Oh.
Look, little less upset with Gregor, more upset with Char for doing that, but he will never trust someone grabbing his hand again.
Dang.
It was all a trap.
Lol.
So Briar will, he'll gesture for you guys to stand with Arkul and Hadrian. Well, as much as I would love for y'all to be our emissary off the bat, Kendra brings up a good point that the journey to Cardi is long, and it is rife with monsters and ne'er-do-wells and thieves and brigands and zealots and everything you could imagine. So maybe, for lack of a better word here, I'm not quite as articulate as she is. Her daddy, if y'all remember, we talked about them for a little bit. Don and Sasha, great people. Don had a notebook, as she has pointed out to me, and Don was one of the younger adventuring types around these parts, so he liked to venture out for quite a while, and Melander, I believe he still... Anyway. He wrote down probably the only known location of... I don't even know what to call it, but something strong and mean and nasty. That is one of the reasons why I believe we should not leave Ilanda Vale, is these kinds of things are out there and we are not equipped to deal with them. So I can All right, how about this? As a middle ground, we'll send these people. We'll send, if y'all are up for it, y'all can take care of this foul monster, this beast. And if y'all will come back. When y'all come back, it will be beyond a shadow of a doubt, Gregor, that they are worthy in physicality and wit. That they are the only emissaries we could ever hope for to represent us with any positivity. And Gregor's like, wow. I suppose if they die, I mean... And Briar's like, they're not gonna die. But, think of it this way, Gregor. Should they succeed, they will be out of your hair forever. And he's... I suppose I'm happy with that arrangement. Christian, could you hear any of that?
I had to use the facilities.
Okay.
Going on a quest.
So there was Kendra came forward and
dad.
What?
It was someone's dad did something and then I left. Right.
What?
He has
Alright,
a journal.
never mind.
Her
He's got
parents
a
had the journal about
Oh,
going out to...
yes. Okay. Sorry. I thought you were talking about the dads in the basement playing poker.
No, you were saying something about Kendra's dad, and
Yes.
then I really had to pee. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. I was about to have a break anyway. So yes. So Kendra came up to Briar, and Briar was alerted that Don, Kendra's father, had a notebook of kind of his adventuring days, and one of the things that are I don't want to say responsible for, but there are different levels of dangers around Ilanda Vale that sort of keep them within their own walls, and this would be a good challenge where if for when you guys go out and defeat this creature and come back, it would be clear as day that there could not be a better possible adventuring team to represent Ilanda Vale as emissaries to Cardi. Like, you guys would be the best that they have. Yeah.
Are we breaking here, or do we get to comment?
It's up to you guys. Yeah, we can talk about it after the break, or we can discuss and then break.
I'm good for whatever.
All right, we'll
Take a break.
Do your break?
I got
Okay. Fine with me.
Go.
So, we will leave off with prior to you guys accepting or rejecting the quest. And we'll come back in, let's say, 10 minutes. I don't know.
Well, I hope it's not too powerful of a monster, because we're not going to level up just yet. And would hate.
We're playing till
Right, just sending us to our death because we're
Quest,
so commoners.
quest,
He's
quest,
gonna go send us to
quest,
fight
quest.
something. Yeah, everyone dies. TPK.
Hey, Rigurd, maybe if you didn't aggress the townspeople, we wouldn't be in this predicament.
You got away with it.
Did we? As we go to fight to our deaths to prove that we're not assholes?
I got my breath weapon. We'll be fine.
As we go to our death to provide.
I have minor illusion, bro. I can cast my corpse.
I can cast my corpse.
This is what I'd look like
Oh
when I'm
my
dead.
future.
Metagame, Felix fakes his death.
Lel.
Meta. So, back into character.
Quest.
Briar looks over to you guys and is if there were any other way, if there was any other way other to know that y'all were up to the task, I think I would.
Yes. Yes. I love it.
Exactly how we look right now.
That's actually the embodiment if all 5 of you melded into one thing. Like you have the charm of Char, the coloration and stature of Rigurd.
You're gonna have a hard
That's all
time
I got.
fitting our.
That's all I
here.
got.
Yeah.
I was just saying, I'm a big red dragon. What do you mean?
Well, he's got a sword. I mean, that's dragony.
Bloodlust.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyway, if there was any other way to maybe not put y'all in such a possibly dangerous situation, but
What is it we have to fight?
I don't think any of us really know.
Well,
There's the
given the imminence of a
well,
potential act from Cardi, I would advise against this, but I'm not one to stand down from a challenge.
well, I fear that with I fear that without this action, it may be difficult to sway the opinion of the town to wholeheartedly agree to have y'all as the do I misunderstand? And there's kind of some murmuring amongst the crowd like, well, do we really know? We know that they're helpful, but are they really fortuitous? I like how there's just a big fluffy blur.
That was a quick walk.
Yay!
He pooped and
What
came
a
home.
cutie pie!
He is extra fluffy.
He's always
I
fluffy.
love him. I fucking love him.
It's
Well,
all
Baba.
the rain.
If that's your choice, so be it. I see no other
Yeah.
alternative. However, I think we need to speak in private about other matters that have occurred in the last 12 hours.
Well, and you guys can see that Briar looks over the crowd, and if any of you were to look back, it's Janice way behind the crowd, just trying his hardest not to be noticed, walking along, and you can see he's got this. He actually has the small tree with him, as well as, as well as this very old, dirty pair of gloves and boots.
Is it preened? Ooh, voice crack. Is it preened?
That was a real nasty voice crack.
Is it preened?
I will clip that and then send it to you.
Good.
Still not getting an answer.
Is it preened? Is it preened?
The bonsai
I need to know.
having been preened. Do you mean pruned?
Mm-hmm. What do you
No,
mean?
preen.
What does preen mean?
Preen
You
is
mean-
what you're
you mean
thinking of.
prune.
Pruning?
No, so
It's
preening is the action. Well,
Oh, pruning? No, that's not how words work, though.
Preen to straighten or clean.
yeah.
Preening?
Weird. Okay, I've just never heard that word before. It's hard to tell from from where you guys are in the crowd, because he's not like marching it up above in the air. He's still hunched over and almost like he's protecting this thing with his life.
Hadrian, what do your elven eyes see?
Wait, what?
Well, I think only me, you, and Char saw the bonsai. The other two are interacting with the crowd.
I'd say
and
probably just
Briar.
Felix, actually, because he was the only one who like leaned in.
He noticed it was preened.
And
No, I just looked it up. It's pruned.
Briar looks at Hadrian. Well, it's
Sending you a link.
Hadrian. It's not our choice. It's as a team, y'all have to decide if y'all up for this. I think it's a fair request to ask.
Kern sent me a friend request.
It's a fair request to ask of you to do this if you all want to be the emissaries. So it's up to y'all. We can talk about it a little bit more if y'all don't want to decide.
I say we do it, but we do have some more issues that we do need to discuss, Briar.
And I would like Mel to come with us as well.
And Mel's kind of like, hmm? And she like looks around, look behind her.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to do like a side whisper to Hadrian. Do we need to bring Gregor into this about the events of last night?
If he's willing. Gregor, would you be interested in being involved in this Okay. Would you be willing to be involved in a conversation about the events of last night?
I think I've said all I needed to say.
Well,
It's nothing about what you need to say. It's something about what you need to
you've
hear.
done. It's about your wife and what's happened to her.
What happened to her?
Well, I think we should discuss that in private.
If something happened, then I think I deserve to be told now.
I would advise against it.
No, no.
It might be
Adrian,
best
go
if
ahead, tell him.
Janice. It might be best if Janice discusses this.
I don't know if Janice is in a fit state.
Why? What happened to Janice?
Well, he witnessed everything.
Witnessed
You kind
what?
of know what happened better than anybody else. Would you be able to explain?
Are
Wait, so
I don't think Char heard that. I don't think Char heard that.
yeah, who's that
You are
addressed
That was to Char.
to? Char?
That was
okay,
for Char. Char, you know better than anybody else kind of what happened last night. Would you be able to explain it?
And before you do you think it should be stated here or in private?
I
Well, if
can
you-
explain it, but I thought we were maybe going to do like a family thing first.
That's what I would advise.
I would advise in private as well, but if he is going to be very hard about it, then we might have no choice.
Well, Gregor, would you want to go and step aside and I'll explain it to you?
Not in particular.
Oh,
I whisper. I pull Briar aside, like step back, like have him step back from away from everyone.
He's definitely tentative to step away from Gregor and like Rigurd and Arkul.
And I want to speak quietly so no one can hear me. Do I need to make a check for that?
No, it's fine. What? Adrian, what?
Briar, his wife is gone. There's no other way to say it. I would prefer, for his
Gone?
sake, if we talked about this in private. Could you talk some sense into him? Janice and all of us witnessed everything. Char has a.
Well-
We would like to speak in private.
I suppose we don't have much of a choice now. Go.
It does. We don't, and it is much more supernatural than I can fathom.
And he steps away from Hadrian real quick. Gregor, listen now. There's a whole lot to sort out here. So we'll just... How about we all call it a day? There's been a lot of things said. A lot of new information coming to light. And we don't want to make this any more complicated than it has to be. I will talk with them. And it sounds like we're all on the same page here. That if they can do this... If they can fight this thing, which I will inform them about, then they are just in their quest to Cardia. Now, Gregor, we have to have words. It's not about what you think, but it is something you need to hear. So, you, Melandra, come on, you can come on with us. Go back to the boarding house. I've got plenty of stew. Let's all just go back.
Thank God.
We'll go back.
Thank God you have stew.
And eat. And he looks around the crowd. All right. Well, I'll let y'all know how this plays out. All right. All right. And he gestures to you. He gives Hadrian a look like sweet fuck molasses. Like let's go.
While we're walking to the house, I pull Mel behind everybody.
Yeah, and she's like,
Mel.
oh, okay. Hi.
And I'll also speak quietly so no one can overhear. Where did you get that flower? Where did you come across that?
And she's kind of like, the flower. Oh, and she kind of explains it's a very rare flower that she's only noticed blooming on new moons, and she goes into this it's not like it's not a lore dump by any means, but she goes into this. She has a few books that she's studied where they describe this flower as it has been this long symbolic sort of representation of like renewal and rejuvenation from the new moon.
Okay.
And
okay, I
she just
may
thinks it's a
need
pretty
you.
flower.
I may need you to explain that after we give our account of what we saw in the forest last night.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Whatever you need.
Okay,
She-
thank you. I
she
really
looks up and-
appreciate.
Yeah, she
I
looks
really
up to see if
appreciate
anybody's
you.
listening, and she's like, I mean, you guys did more than you know. So I owe you a lot.
For you, like specifically in the tasks that we helped
And
you
she
with.
like,
Oh.
"Shh."
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Well, we were happy to help you.
thank you.
All right.
So
That's
yeah, you guys arrive at, or well, I'll ask the rest of the group here. Arkul, was there anything you would say along the way? You think to anybody?
is
No.
is Janice with us? Did we?
Janice is not.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Char, any
No.
conversations? Felix, Rigurd?
No.
No
Rigurd-
conversations, just
Still a
burning
little thing.
eyes into the back of Gregor's head.
Rigurd's still a little damp, but he's drying. Yeah, so you guys, Briar invites you all in. So for the sake of things, he has all of you guys sit around the table, and then he has Gregor stand up in the kitchen closest to the pot of stew, and Melandra is behind him.
So,
So
Gregor, I
he's
understand.
He's very he's not looking at you, and he's like, as he's pouring himself a healthy bowl.
I understand that we had a conflict yesterday, and I apologize if you feel that we handled it in an unnecessary manner. We went back to the forest with Janice to find your wife and
And the
see if there was anything we could do for her.
What do you mean? Was she out there? What was she doing out there for so long?
It is beyond my comprehension, the events that followed. I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is that she's no longer with us.
Oh,
She has passed on.
he stops and sets the bowl down. What do you mean? She died? Did something hurt her?
In a manner of speaking, she died. Char has an ability to had an ability to communicate with her at the last point that we saw her, and can speak more to the events that unfolded. But all that I can definitively tell you is that your wife has passed.
And Char, you can feel this gentle little scurry, and you like look over, and Mally is like ready with the tissue packet. Like I like, just give me the sign. And Gregor. And Melandra's eyes, her eyes shoot open. She was like, whoa. And everybody's, has their eyes on Gregor right now, including Briar, he has no idea what's about to happen. I want to see her body. I have to see it for myself.
That's part of the problem.
He turns his shoulders real fast just to look at Hadrian.
Why? When I mentioned a supernatural occurrence, I can't comprehend what happened, but from my perspective, her body became one with nature.
The forest spirits took her.
And as you can see, Char has quite the extended perspective than the rest of us.
She wasn't like against it though. Like they didn't kidnap her or anything. She wanted to go with them, and they took her. So she's still alive in the forest. You can go talk to her in there.
She wouldn't. And you can hear his voice breaking a bit, kind of beyond the fury. She wouldn't. And he looks at each of you very seriously, like just looking for any possible sign of like, hee, this is a joke. Just staring like one by one.
Is there any alcohol around?
Sorry.
Not that Rigurd could see. Briar, I don't think. I'm sure he has some.
Not visible.
Yeah, I know.
Okay then.
For many years, I watched my father deal and
Where's
speak.
Janice?
Did
he hurt her?
No.
In no way.
I told you.
Way.
It was the forest spirits.
So he just let them take her?
Well, she wanted to go, first of all. She told me she wanted to go.
But she didn't tell me.
No, but you can't talk to the forest spirits like I can. I've talked to them forever, and they're talking back now.
Oh, well, I would love to hear what the trees have to talk back about.
Well, if you really wanted to know, then basically they said that she's safe, and that's what she wanted to do, and that she said when she left that she loved you and she loved Janice. They said a couple other things to me, but I don't think you need to know that. So we're not going to say that part, just the part about her.
Make a persuasion check.
But that is what they said.
It's persuasion, not deception.
Sorry.
It's more of just talking Gregor off the ledge here.
18.
Ooh, he done persuaded.
Nice.
Even with a high DC there. And with an 18, that would have been a pretty high DC to break there. You can see his shoulders come down as he starts to relax a little bit. She said all that to you?
Yeah, I promise you, I heard that. She said that. The forest spirit then afterwards confirmed that he was taking care of her, and like I said, you can go out there and talk to her, and, you know, maybe if you take the time and you relax and you listen, maybe you can hear her voice in the wind. Mm-hmm.
And Mally, like, peeking out from under Tar's hair. Not yet, not yet.
We're still good.
Yeah. He straightens up his old clothes.
Straightens up his daddy shirt.
Yeah. His says granddaddy on it.
We can take you to the site if you want to see the flowers.
Gregor he walks out of the house.
Okay.
And Briar kind of, Gregor.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do, Briar, but I think you should follow him so he doesn't beat up Janice again.
Janice is a grown man. So is Gregor. They need to...
Yeah, but they're also both sad right now. And when you're sad, sometimes you do things you don't mean to do.
There are a lot of things on my plate right now, Miss Shaw, and it's hard to know sometimes which one to focus on first. I think the imminent security of our town here is a bit paramount to an unfortunate domestic dispute. Unfortunately, is the choice I have to make.
If I may be so bold, then, if it is imminent in your eyes, why send us away and leave Ilanda Vale without protection? Why send us to?
I don't believe it's as imminent as tomorrow or next week even. I believe it's coming. Maybe that's a better word.
Well, given the swiftness that the Dragonel rider was able to arrive after the destruction of his technology, I would advise, in good faith, that you think about a different course of action.
Well, you make a good point, but my hands are tied on this one. I don't decide for the town. This is their choice.
Okay.
If they want y'all,
I've done what I can.
No, Hadrian, I appreciate it, and I hope you know that I genuinely respect what y'all have to say.
I thank you for that. We will return as swiftly as possible. Mel, I'm glad you came. Sorry I asked you here with no need for explanation.
And she's still a little shocked from the Gregor situation. She's still, visibly taken aback.
Could you explain to Char and Briar the significance of the flower to see if it means anything to either of them?
Yes, and she takes the flower, and it's you guys can all see clearly it is the same flower that was over the grave spot where Elizabeth was taken, and she takes it down. I don't know if it has an officially recognized name or anything, but I know from some old books that I've found that it only blooms on the night of a new moon, and it's long since represented rebirth and rejuvenation. I'm not sure what culture this may have originated from, but it's just as powerful, I think.
Do you have any knowledge of any special properties it may have?
I don't. I can look it up for you though. And she kind of looks at Briar and kind of tries to sneak it past. Let me see if Briar could get that. Ooh. She tries to sneak it past, and the other thing, and Briar. What other thing? And she looks at you guys, looks at Briar, looks at you guys, looks at Briar. You guys didn't say anything to Briar about the baby, right?
No.
No, okay, I didn't think so. Or I couldn't remember, rather. Well, Briar, do you remember some months ago, those strange creatures came through? And he looks. What did they call themselves? The Genesis or Genasi? Was that right? And she's like, yes. What about them? And she goes, well, one of the, and she's not meeting his eyes, one of the members of the Genasi tribe from Starleaf Vale was with child during the journey. And, they're traveling to Fury Keep, and she
I light up at that.
Me too.
She couldn't take the infant with her, and so Hisarna was the only one who could understand them or communicate with them. They spoke a very strange language I couldn't hope to possibly understand. And she left the infant with Hisarna. And his eyes are, Briar's mind is going in 50 different directions right now. Hisarna has been monitoring an infant. What are they? And she goes, he has deemed them water Genasi, or Genasi. I'm not quite sure on pronunciation. And he has an infant of theirs.
As it starts to pour rain in my backyard, talking about water.
The sign.
Mel, we're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to have a little chat with Hisarna about that later.
If you don't mind, Briar, could I attend? I would like to know about why the Genasi tribe members are traveling to my hometown.
They didn't happen to mention that, did they? And she's like, well, Hisarna might know, but I don't know. And Briar puts his head back. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. I am going to talk to Smithy and Tana, who I did put in a request for you. I'm gonna go check on that. I'm gonna go talk to them about some immediate supplies that we might be able to get for you for your trip.
Okay.
I suggest, and it's kind of afternoon, early mid-afternoon at this point. I suggest y'all eat as much as you can and rest as much as you can before this trek, because I knew Don. I knew him very well. And he told me about this place. But it never sat right with me. There's something else there, and I want y'all to keep your head on a swivel. When he got there, they met something. It was difficult to understand what it was, but he met something, and it gave him this immediate knowledge of, he owns Kendra now owns the Silent Island Ale House, and it was this thing that taught him how to brew and concoct and make these drinks. But nobody just... You don't just come upon that kind of knowledge for nothing. It never quite sat well with me, so... But he returned, and, they started their brewery, and thank gosh, because it saved Kendra. But, be careful. I'm going to go talk to them. Mel, I'm going to have words with Hisarna about this one. And he looks over at Hadrian. I can wait until y'all get back. If you want.
Okay.
But if he has a baby in there, and he looks at Mel, is that why? And she nods like, that's why I was so happy when my plants revived. It gave me what I needed to help take care of this child. And Briar. Well, that's a mighty big favor that I would have liked to have known about. And she, she has this kind of mid-bow. I'm sorry, he doesn't want me to tell anyone. And he looks at Hadrian. Well, I can wait for y'all to return if you want me to.
I'd appreciate that.
And he looks at Mel. Don't tell him. We know until they get back. And she goes, no, of course not. Well. And he gets up, goes to his cupboards and gets several bowls. Blup, 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 pours out soup in each one. Leaves them on the counter. Looks at each of you guys. Eat up. You're going to need it.
Yes, sir.
And so he and Mel will start to leave, and he'll stop and turn. Oh. I may not know a whole lot about legality, but Cardi's probably going to want some kind of official recognition from us here that y'all representing us. Now, I've got a little paper drafted here that I'll get the town signatures. Don't you worry about that. But y'all might want to start thinking of maybe something to call yourselves. So
Oh yes!
I knew it was
fucking
coming.
knew I knew Christian was gonna. Maybe just start thinking
Let
something.
the group chatting commence.
Yeah, free meta on this one. Maybe start thinking of something, and we'll get it on this paper and get y'all recognized.
The 5 flowers!
Let's not talk about this right now.
And Mally is like,
He's so
squeak,
Yeah.
squeak, motherfucker.
I gesture Mally to come over here to see if she'll jump over because of the insult.
She looks at Char and makes like a fake step, like, oh, I'll do it. But then she like scurries back down Char's pocket. Like, I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. You know that.
Before Briar and Mel walk out the door, Rigurd's gonna gesture to Mel. Like, come here. He'll reach down and grab that little pouch of silver coins that he got from the Dragon Knight from Ginny.
He gave you a silver pouch?
6 silver coins for the rabbits.
That's right. Yes. Yep. Thank you. Yes.
And so he'll give it to her, use this for the child.
And yeah, she
It's
can,
not much, but it'll...
she can
it'll
hear
help.
the jingle and she'll look inside. Are you sure?
Yes, just use the money for the child.
She just throws her arms around Rigurd. And it's...
He is very off-put. He is not used to hugs.
Yeah, it's a big, tight one, too. And you can just right in Rigurd's ear, you know. Thank you.
And Melandra,
Melandru.
my bad. Take 2 more good berries.
She palms them, and her eyes just start welling up. She holds it right over her heart, and she just turns and walks away. And
Yeah, bitch, this group is fucking wholesome!
and Briar, y'all are the strangest people I ever met. And maybe that's what we need. I'll be back. Rest. Be careful. I'll be back. Over the course of the next few hours, Briar will go around town and acquire some pretty basic pieces of equipment for you guys to have. So he'll get you guys 2 tents, which can fit 3 each. Each of you has a bedroll, 20 torches.
Wait. I missed the first one.
2 tents that can fit 3.
2 tents, 20
I'm
torches.
keeping notes, too.
2 tents and 20 torches? Was there something else?
And 5 bedrolls.
Oh. I thought
Torches, smorches.
Smorches?
Torches, smorches. We don't need no stinking torches.
What about when
He
you can't
doesn't
use
know
your
that.
dragon breath, huh?
Well, I have
Alright, sorry.
Rogue's
I had him
vision.
caught up.
Yeah,
I have
Sorry,
Rogue's
Dad.
vision too.
he'll get you guys 5 rations. I'm sorry, 10 rations.
Ooh, day trip.
He'll have let me make sure I'm grabbing the right one here.
I'm also writing all this down too.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the...
Can I get a Gamorrean War Axe?
What?
So
I wanted Christian to react and he didn't.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said.
I said, can I get a Gamorrean War Axe?
Dude, you're not a soldier class.
And remind me before we get to whatever location we have to go to pass out the remaining good berries. We should probably eat those before we head out into battle.
What do good berries actually do?
They feed you for an entire day.
Shouldn't we save them for the journey?
Well, they've only got a few more days of goodness left. They only last a week, and
Well, we're leaving in the morning, so...
we received
theoretically-
those. We received them a couple days ago. They're just about gone.
So then
They
they'll
need
just
to
be
be-
not so good berries, right?
How many do you have left?
I have 5 left, one for each of us.
Well, then let's consume them in the morning.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
You said give them away.
Well,
Just
no, I meant to give them to us, one for each of
disperse
us.
them for the party.
Disperse them.
Alright.
So Briar will come back and he'll lay some things out. And let me ask you guys first, actually. While you guys are alone, are there any comments? So it's just you 5 in Briar's house at the moment. And you guys can have the time to RP if there's anything else you guys wanted to RP. Or if not, we'll just skip ahead. I'll go backwards here. Rigurd?
Nope.
Hadrian?
I'm worried we should have checked on Janice.
He just needs to go through the motion. It's always hard losing someone you care about. There's
Because
no easy
of,
way to
you know,
deal with that.
Yeah, I appreciate your perspective, but more in line with the aggression that his father had, that you were angry about.
Well, now that he also knows that his wife is gone, he might have to deal with this in his own way as well.
Fair.
Unfortunately, we can't be there all the time in case something happens, so we're just gonna have to trust him that he'll do the right thing.
If we wanted to stay in the town a little bit longer after this this quest that they're sending us on, I can always try and, I don't know, teach him how to fight a little bit before we go.
It's true, but time might not be on our side. We don't know how long until this caravan from Cardi will be here.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, we'll leave it to them. Separate rooms or the same room tonight, guys?
I think we're getting pretty used to the sleep pile, correct?
The sleep pile.
Whatever makes everybody else more comfortable.
Has anybody else heard about their hometown since they've been here?
No.
I don't think we have. Oh. No, I haven't. So you're saying your stronghold was this what'd they call it? The keep?
Fury Keep.
What is your connection with Fury Keep, besides your hometown?
My entire family is still there.
What do they do?
We're a large merchant family. I have 12 brothers.
What's the family name?
Oh shit, that's a really good question.
Boom, got him!
You don't know that off the top of your head, nerd?
Evander.
No, because I made a weird name. Evander.
Do I know that name?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I wouldn't have noticed because I didn't ask, but do I get the inkling that Arkul knows about the town that I'm from? Based off of this conversation? Because, like, obviously when you were saying he... Actually, no, I would have an inkling because he audibly he looked over. I guess, did I notice that? When because we were next to each other.
I think Hadrian may have not noticed necessarily the fact that Arkul was also kind of alerted to this, because Hadrian may have been, because if he was concerned about hearing that for the first time, he wouldn't have been like who else is noticing this? You know, he would have been like alert, like, oh wait a minute, that's strange. So I don't think he would have noticed Arkul doing that if he wasn't specifically looking for it, because it's, you know, it wasn't a big gesture. But I will say, it is up to you, Kern, if you think Hadrian would be
aware now that we're having the conversation.
Yeah, since Arkul, I think thus far has been the most in this little brief.
I'm not able.
Gary, Gary. Damn it!
I can't hear you.
Fucking damn it.
I think
why
Hadrian, you can kind of decide if you think Arkul's this most recent line of questioning is maybe coming from a place of like, I know where that is, or if maybe he's just asking to ask.
Do you know of Fury Keep? You sound more knowledgeable than the rest.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, that's not good. What happened to you there?
Nothing happened to me there, but how much do I want to give away?
Give away.
Let's just say where I'm from does not do too kindly with those from Fury Keep.
I've never heard of such things.
That only just proves the brainwashing then.
Well, I'm not prejudiced, so I wouldn't consider myself brainwashed, so...
Oh, it's nothing to do with prejudice. What does Fury Keep actually do?
Many things.
Besides meddling in the affairs of others.
I have to go to my notes now because I need to see if I know that. Well, I understand our politics are a little shaky internally, but... And our royal guard is fairly extensive throughout the region, but I've never heard of meddling in other towns' affairs.
Hold on, I'm reading really quick.
You're fine. Take your time.
Love the lore.
I mean, I've known Dragonborn through my time at the city. Why I was not shocked when I met you about what you were.
The people of Fury's Keep have been a burden for my city for as long as I can remember. If there's anything we do outside of our own, Fury Keep always has a way of putting their nose into our business. It's something we do not stand for.
Well, maybe upon my return I can do something to change that. I'm sorry for that.
I have nothing else to say, and so I go into my individual room.
Oh, yikes.
Is there anything in this this brief time that Felix would want to RP about?
No, I'm just ready to get to some stuff. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's been a while.
What,
Like,
that
I'm
wasn't
ready to,
tense enough for you, Christian?
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't know.
I've been RPing for an hour.
Yeah, I'm just ready to skip to the loo.
Ready to fuck.
Wow.
Char, anything?
Nope, I don't have anything.
Okay.
I'd just be listening if I was in the room.
Okay. Yeah, and Briar will return, and so he'll lay out for you guys all of the things I mentioned, and then he'll have some okay made short swords and pretty basic like hide armor, as well as the sun hat that Char wanted that covers her horns over. And he's like, well, I had this one made special too, and he has a really small one that's a matching one for Mally.
We love it, thank you.
Gross.
So Briar will kind of explain that like you guys can take whatever you need, but your characters will know that donning these weapons and armor are not you guys do not have proficiency with them. So with the armor specifically, donning armor you are not proficient in will have disadvantage on, I believe it's skills and attacks. And the weapon you can attack normally if you're not wearing that armor, but you will not have your proficiency modifier.
Me, including myself?
Yeah, right now Hadrian is not proficient with... well, you're proficient with simple weapons, but not martial, and swords in general are under the martial category.
What about myself?
Given...
I think Arkul would make sense to have proficiency. Hadrian, it's only because, well, I guess I can't get that away.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know. I'll reread it.
The quick and nasty version is like, Hadrian has experience with a lot of things, but I wouldn't say he has dedicated experience to one.
That's acceptable.
Craft. Okay. And without going into like like the lore and everything, Arkul does.
And actually, Crib, you did say I do have proficiency in with swords.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I thought
I got it written down on my character sheet.
Yeah, I could like vaguely remember, like, didn't we say? With that, you guys can next session you guys can choose if you want a long rest or not before the quest begins. But next episode we will go down the quest line here. So end of episode 7 here. You guys are commoner level 4.
Woo! What does that
do? You get 2 ASI points.
What
is that?
Again?
Ability score increase. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if you have any score that is an even number, if you put 2 points into that score, your modifier goes up by 1. Or if you
everything's basically 10, so you basically have to do 2 points in one thing if you want to do anything at all. Except for, I think, me and Hadrian, because we're elves.
I have some +1s to some stuffs.
I was gonna say elves have. I think mine is just dex.
Well, I'm trying to see. So, like, Felix, you have 2 skills with 11. Char has a 13 and an 11.
Arkul has a 14.
All of mine are even.
No, I understand that, but I mean, like, for characters who have 2 odds, 2 points are a big deal because they can put 1 point in both of those, and now they have 2 skills that go up by 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shit. What do I want to put mine in?
So yeah, you guys can.
Con.
I've honestly just been rolling as straight 10s. I haven't been adding much. Like, I think Charisma is the only one that I have buffed right now.
I just closed the sheet. Damn it, Christian.
What,
you have
sheet?
Dex. You have Dex buff, Christian. You have 12 Dex.
Yeah.
I'll
the only
think on it.
that you have. Everything else is.
Well,
under
Christian,
11.
you have an 11 in intelligence and charisma. So if you put 1 in both of those, you'd have +1 to your intelligence checks and +1 to charisma checks. And then Char, same thing for you, but intelligence and wisdom. So with that,
Does the commoner level 3 character sheets include what we buffed when we got to commoner level 3? Or did we have to?
Hold on, I'm gonna close the stream out real quick, and then I'll answer your questions. So, fucking Banky with the second month subscription fucked me up with. I don't know if you guys saw me laughing like halfway through that. That was a video I tried to play. It's a really fucking funny video, but I kept it together. So thank you, Banky, for that subscription. Thank you for everybody who's watching. This was Group 2, Session 7. Group 1, Session 7 next week, and these guys will be back in 2 weeks. See you on the next one.
See you on the flip flop.